You found Channel 13. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. This transmission carries with it nothing of value.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so gross.
What, your fake beer?
Ugh. No, it's a fake beer. Oh God, it's so gross.
What is it?
You got that glare? It's a White Russian. Like
okay.
Truly or something. Like one of those dumb things they made a White Russian.
Out of a can?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I got you. You're not drinking beer. You're literally drinking like some sort of like. Are you gonna get ripped on like buzz balls? Those things they sell at gas stations. They're claimed they float in pools, Dave. They float upright, and they're like mixed cocktails. You can get like pina coladas.
Oh,
my buddy
yeah, no, that's
drank
it.
those,
I mean, this is on par with that. I could only assume.
Sure.
Yeah, but like these come in plastic balls, and you can buy them at like gas stations. And then you can like float around in a pool and let your life drift away.
In your above ground pool.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's clearly for an above ground
bathtub. Let's be
Yeah, okay.
clear. No, actually, I drank them in a below ground pool, like an in ground pool, below ground, in ground pool.
That's weird. You were underground.
At like a motel in Columbus with my buddy Alex. A few years back, 10 years ago, before I had a child, we got drunk at a shitty, like abandoned hotel. It wasn't abandoned. They charged us for the room, but there was like no one else there.
So you went swimming.
Yeah. Basically.
No, we went buzzballing, dude.
Could mean a lot of things.
Just sitting in a pool, drinking White Russians in the heat. You know.
Sitting in a pool, drinking White Russians.
I got no problem drinking a White Russian in the middle of the heat.
Oh,
People
God,
always talk about.
It's the milk.
I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. There's milk there, but I'm gonna drink
Yeah.
a milkshake in the middle of the summer too.
Yeah, I get the milkshake because it's cold and, I don't know, frozen more so.
I don't get drinking any type of cocktail out of a can. I think that's fine. I don't know why it's weird to me. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Yeah, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
But either way, it's absolutely disgusting. And yep, I apologize for my actions.
Yeah.
Especially
you know who should
that,
apologize for their actions is the Foo Fighters for making this movie. Welcome back to Drunken Horror. Hey, click subscribe. We have a Patreon. Give us money.
Smash that button.
Smash it.
Smash that bell. Smash it until it doesn't function anymore. Ring that bell.
DTF? Is that a thing you say on YouTube?
DTF? Down to fuck.
Oh no.
That's DTF. Why would you say down to DTF?
I don't know.
Hey, Dave's DTF. If any of you
I don't know if I'm supposed to be a sub or a DTFer or what.
What are you talking about?
I don't know
I'm
what
just
he's
saying
talking
weird
about.
internet words because I'm old.
Sub?
Yeah, you don't subscribe,
want
dude,
to
you
sub.
sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some subs are submissives are DTF though.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. Yeah. It brings it all back.
That's a whole other website and channel.
Did you hate it?
It got old. That was a long movie for what it was.
It was pretty
It got the joke of like Dave just being like, "Oh shit, man," and then like them running around as 60-year-olds and Pat Smear not being able to stop smiling like fucking jackass. What is
I
that,
love him.
dude's?
I love
what
him
is that
just
dude's-
existed.
I know, but like, what is that dude's issue? He's just like, "Oh no, here comes a monster!" Like, oh god. Because they're not actors. They're not. Again, this is Peyton Hillis. They're not actors. They don't know what they're doing.
I do want to state something about that. So one of the things I said in the Hunting was about how it's instantly a garbage movie because it was a novelty. They put Peyton Hillis in it.
Right.
This is the equivalent of that. I can't really argue. Like I really enjoyed this movie, but I'm going against myself of what I just prior said. Like it's also a novelty. The idea that you have a bunch of Foo Fighters, running around making a movie, but it did seem a little bit less. Like it did seem like a fine movie. Like.
Yeah.
Well,
It was- I mean, it's
again,
clearly
there
better
was
than
more
Undertaker.
money, and if we're talking levels of fame, Foo Fighters, Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
Peyton Hillis had, like we said, one good season.
I'm just simply saying it's clearly a novelty also. But I was
Right.
wrong, and I enjoyed the novelty.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with it being a novelty. Again, you know what's funny is I'm remiss I didn't actually pick up on this, but when I was gathering all the posters for The Howling, it's like they're not even trying to advertise that Peyton Hillis is in it because it's all a werewolf on the front and his name's really tiny. Like, if they cared that Peyton Hillis was in it, you'd have a picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh man, wouldn't it have been awesome if there was like a thing the werewolf needed to continue being a werewolf, and like he was like running with it with like a
football,
like a football. He was just running, like jumping over, like doing his like little jump over, like how he used to jump over the defensive lines. Like he's just jumping over the werewolf.
It's just the Madden cover, but he's in his werewolf outfit.
No, like I mean the cop running from his brother, like they're like playing football for it.
Yeah.
Like
The
football versus
people.
werewolves. But again, they didn't go with anything creative.
No.
So this is a little bit different because the whole point, the joke is that it is the Foo Fighters. It is a novelty.
The Foo Fighters are in it, but this is not a Foo Fighters movie. It's a Dave Grohl movie.
This is very Scooby-Doo-ish. Like the humor was this like they were like almost making fun of Scooby-Doo. I don't know.
Whitney Cummings, there's a part where when she introduces herself.
She's the worst.
She is the worst. But I thought it was really funny. She's looking over the fence, and then she's done talking to Dave after she sings. And her singing was so properly bad that I thought that was quite funny, like her and stuff.
Right.
But when Dave says like goodbye to her or whatever, she doesn't like go down. Like they do that thing where she's just like lowering herself on something behind the fence. And as we learn, and of course there's spoilers in this, there's nothing haunted about her. So that was just like, let's do this, it'll be funny. It was ridiculous that even took place.
Well, then I had to look it up. I was like, is she married to one of the band members, like, or dating one? And she isn't. And it's like, so you actually got her for some reason?
Yeah, the cast is a little strange. Like Jeff Garlin, the girl from American Horror Story. She's probably from other stuff. That's all I know her from. The Realtor. And then Whitney Cummings are pretty much the only... Oh, and Will Forte.
And Will Forte is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, just he's like playing a weird stoner. He's not even being Will Forte.
Oh, I thought he was great. I
thought he was
that
great,
was a
but it was just
character.
like... It was just kind of a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, they just needed... I don't know what the point of him even was.
Just
Except for the worst joke in the whole movie with the whole ranch thing.
Yeah.
I was actually really bothered by that because so in the movie, if you recall, Ben, there's a part where he's getting his food and he's like, I asked for extra ranch. Mm-hmm. And so Will Forte's like, oh, I'll go back and get it. He's like, and Dave Grohl responds, it's fine, I'll use the marinara.
Right.
What are you eating? Like, what are you substituting
chicken
ranch
parm
for marinara? Like,
chicken parm.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, because there's 4 chicken parms or something like that. 5 chicken parms.
I got 3 or 4 chicken parms.
Yeah, something like that.
But I get wanting to have either one of... the ranch even seems weird for a chicken parm to me. But it's just a bizarre thing to jump from. It's like, hey, I wanted apples. I'm going to eat oranges. It's just... It was a weird jump. And it legitimately bothered me. I thought it was so stupid.
Yeah.
That's my problem with this movie. That's it.
That's it. Other than that, it's perfect. I didn't mind the movie, but it did seem to kind of last too long. They kind of relied on the same jokes a lot, and it was very Scooby-Doo. It definitely was.
That Pearl Jam high five joke was absolutely hilarious.
That was pretty funny, actually.
They didn't need to do it 2.5 more times.
No.
I do like how he got the lyrics like purposely wrong too. He's like, Jeremy's fucking smoking, but it's Jeremy spoke in class today. But everyone thought it was Jeremy smoked in class today. Like, that's what they thought it was when I was. So I like that little like. He knows what it is. He's friends with Eddie Vedder. Like they were friends.
Yeah.
And he's just being a dick, and I love it.
Well, the second time they did it after he freaked out at Pat Smear, I was like, this is dumb. You don't need to do this again. Because I legitimately thought it was I've never heard of that, and it obviously was a really funny joke. But then, like, it was dumb to replay it, but then he said, all right, we're still alive.
Right.
And I thought that was, like, you brought it back to being funny all over again. Who's that other guy?
The
in the
keyboardist?
So the Rami guy, he just joined in 2017. He was like their studio touring keyboard guy, and now he's officially part of the band. I had to look that up.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Because I don't know anything. Again, I like Everlong. That's about it with the Foo Fighters. I like Dave Grohl. I like him as a person. I find him interesting, and he doesn't seem like a bag of cocks. So, like, I don't mind like watching interviews with him or whatever. But as far as Foo Fighters go, I think they're just like boring ass.
Yeah, they're vanilla rock.
I'd rather, like, in the dad rock world of today, I mean, they're probably the best dad rock. I'd rather listen to that than, like, the Black Keys. I don't know what other dad rock is out there. Is Nickelback and shit? That's all dad rock. Foo Fighters it's all that stuff.
I don't need to fucking listen to any of it. Like, why do I have to choose like Nickelback or nothing? Nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing.
It's a newer movie, and people will watch it. We do spoilers constantly. There's not really anything we can spoil unless you've never seen a fucking horror movie before, but we'll, whatever. Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters were shooting this is real life. Supposedly, when they were recording the 10th album in 2020, they rented an old place. The sound was on point, but it was fucking weird. And then they'd wake up in the morning, they'd open up Pro Tools, and there would be tracks missing, and then tracks added of just like an open mic in a room. And then their cameras were turning on in the middle of the night, and they were seeing weird shit on the cameras, but they can't show it because of some weird non-disclosure agreement with the owner of the property they rented because they were trying to sell it. Even though if you have a haunted house, your house will sell for 5 times more than it's worth.
Could you just also advertise famous rock band recorded album here?
But if Dave Grohl's running around and saying, hey, there's ghosts in there, it's like that would triple the amount of the house value. If you're asking $1 million, it would sell for $3 million and 10 times faster. Do you know what I mean? So this is the real life. And so Dave Grohl came up with this idea, and then some people wrote it, and this other guy directed it. I don't even know. The other guy, the guy who directed it, I've never seen any of this series. It's like Hatchet. And Kane Hodder's in it, and it's basically, a slasher bullshit set of movies. I don't know. It starts out, a band in the 90s was trying to finish an album there called Dream Widow. And then it's kind of murky, like the owner, the head guy of the band owned the house and then sacrificed his band, and he was also into like
that was a little
mysticism.
Strange as far as he was in the Aleister Crowley and all that stuff. And the neighbor knew about it because she's the one that kind of warned the Foo Fighters like later.
She was a groupie
with the lemon bars. Yeah, she's like, you got to sacrifice to the book or feed the book.
What did you just call them? You call them llama bars?
Lemon bars.
Pretty sure you said llama bars.
Okay, whatever.
I don't think you said llama.
The lemon bars. Lemon bars. Lemon bars. Lemon bars. Lemon. There goes my train of thought.
Anyways, yeah, so she explains her whole thing. I was a groupie, sex magic, whatever. But and then Dave Grohl is having trouble writing songs. I do want to say it's funny. Like they're like the whole thing is he's coming up with this badass album, and then I went and read the reviews about their 10th album, and they're like, "It's another Foo Fighters album." Like that. It's like straight down the middle. 50% of the people liked it. They're just like, It's fine. If you're a Foo Fighters fan, it's fine. If you're not,
find a radio hit on this one or two times.
Right. In the worst effects I've ever seen, the first guy to die is Thud or Krug or something.
Krug.
Their sound guy.
Krug.
Their main roadie is electrocuted. And I've never seen worse effects. Like it was like the sparking. It was just like the cheesiest effects I've ever seen in my life. Like, did you just add this before you released the movie?
That's what it kind of looked like. It looked like a weird filter. I mean,
but it looked like
Shocker had better effects.
It's like they just used After Effects or something.
But that's what I'm saying. And
it's
just one of those like add-ons. Like you can buy like the electricity pack, and then you just drag electricity wherever you want it to go, and there's sparking effects and shit. Something that Jack versus Lanterns apparently didn't have the money for. So the guy actually physically drew on the movie. He finds this book. It's the Necronomicon. He finds this. He doesn't find the book. He finds the record.
He finds the reel-to-reel
from Dream Widow in the 90s. And I like that beginning where he's just like hitting the chick in the face with the hammer.
Yeah. That was the beginning was.
I like that part.
I could really relate to that part.
Yeah.
I was like, honey, come here and watch this. Watch this part with me. I feel something when I watch this part. She had like a piece of bone, like a nice little adding thing. She's not just crawling. You see why she's crawling. There's a piece of bone like sticking out of her leg, and she's like crawling across the ground.
Why is this girl famous? Who is she? Like, where did she come from?
Who?
That's Jenna Ortega.
Who's Jenna Ortega?
She's in Scream. She's in X. Like, she's like this horror person out of nowhere. Like, she's covering Fangoria. I just have no idea where she came from out of nowhere. She looks like she's 16.
Maybe she's 16. I don't know.
I just don't know where she came from, and she's everywhere in horror now.
We never watched Scream or talked about it. I hated it. By the way, I'm just going to throw that in there.
Oh no, we didn't talk about 5. Yeah.
I hate Scream. It's not Scream 5. It's Scream for no reason. It's Scream. What are they going to do in the next one? Scream 2?
It's Scream 6. It's already like has the logo, the way they have the 6 out.
Jesus Christ. So Dave Grohl is apparently instantly possessed there, and he starts trying to complete this song that he found by this 90s band Dream Widow, which the Foo Fighters also recorded an entire album. I listened to it. It's not that's actually a pretty good album. They're like playing that song. And they recorded an entire like EP as Dream Widow, like the 90s band.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
That is funny.
So that's a better album apparently than the Foo Fighters album.
It's either Dream Widow or the 10th album by the Foo Fighters.
So then you just start with the same joke over and over. I don't know. It's like, other than that, I don't have much to say about it. It's just kind of like there's some funny parts and
The kills were great.
the kills were great. The chainsaw kill when
The sex
the
one?
keyboardist is
Yeah.
fucking Whitney Cummings.
Did she die too?
Yeah, he cuts
'Cause
them both in half.
It goes through both of them, okay.
Yeah, it goes through her face.
I thought Taylor Hawkins was a good death just because the body was gone, but the head's still up there. Like I liked the idea of it looking like a prop. Like they could sell that if he wasn't dead right now. It just looked cool for a wall hanging.
It was one of the only like music related ones too.
I was expecting a lot more music related deaths. Like just somebody getting stabbed with a bass or like an amp falling on somebody or something like that. Death by stereo type of deal.
I do like Pat Smear's, just because it looked like shit. His head getting run over and just exploding, but there's no blood in it. But his body's laying there and it's not crushed by the van, which clearly would have gone over and gotten. And then I was unclear the first time I watched it why the guy got the wire in his eye, or even what Pat Smear's fucking doing at that point with the wire. But then I realized Pat Smear pokes him in the eye with.
Yeah. He's trying to hotwire the car from underneath or something. Yeah.
And then he shoves the wire all the way up. And then the lady takes the weirdest swing with a knife and kills the last guy. I don't know I know Pat Smear and I know Taylor Hawkins. I know Dave Grohl. The other two dudes that kind of look alike, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's that Rami guy, and then those other two are
Rami,
brothers.
and then the other two that look like exactly alike. Are they brothers?
I'm just saying they're like lookalikes. Yeah, I have no idea. They're
So I don't know what they're doing,
so plain white guy. Like they just look like everyone at the shopping center on a weekend.
Kind of like two ginger dudes. One's named Shifty or something.
I liked the when one of them, whichever, said the comment when they're in the kitchen first getting the house, and he says something like, he's like, "Oh, I'm pretty good on the grill." He's like, "Yeah, if you want all your meat charred," or he said something like that. But Dave Grohl's like obnoxious. Was absolutely like I laughed out loud at that. Like I thought that was so fucking funny.
They have a lot of like the stuff where it's funny is like these guys have clearly been in a band together for like 27 years, and so like they have that kind of like where Dave's acting crazy, but it's funny because a lot of them aren't recognizing something's really wrong because he's just an arrogant dick and he always yells at them. So they're just kind of like, why is he acting like this? Where they're having the conversation where clearly something was fucked up with him. Like the night where he wakes him up, he's like, we need to play this. Start with the bap, and he's like, I don't know what part that is. He's like, yeah, you do.
I love when he makes Taylor count 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's like, well,
It's like a dancer. Yeah. I mean, there are funny parts of the movie, and the effects I thought were pretty good. Besides the one guy that gets electrocuted to death.
There's a lot of like it's funny to me, but like again, ultimately, and just because I watched it twice, it was just like this is really long. Like, oh god, we're still not here. Like, there's way too much buildup in this house.
What is the runtime? What is the runtime on that movie?
You know what? Yeah. I don't know, but I remember pausing it at one point. I'm like, dude, there's still like 75 minutes left. How about like I can't tell if it's long or if I've been watching it for a long time, or if just feel like it's a long.
There are parts that it just felt like it dragged a bit. That they could have just edited it maybe a little bit better, just to tighten it up a bit.
Like Will Forte did not need to come over twice.
Well, he had to die, I guess, is what they wanted.
But but you could
maybe they needed him to like keep going.
It's 106 minutes.
Wow.
So, you know,
It's really not that long. It just felt.
It's
I
pushing
thought it was
2
going to be
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
It's pushing 2 hours, but it felt long. So there's a lot of stuff where it drags.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of scene cuts. There's a lot of like changes and stuff, and they go through a progression of time that it definitely even pushes you to think that it's longer.
Right.
But I
And-
watched it twice as well, and I watched it once straight through, and the whole time I was like, God damn, this is so long. What the F? You know, we don't need this. When I went back and watched it again, I watched it twice, like in 2 settings, I mean. And cutting it in half and then coming back, like I had no complaints. Like when you just take it into 2 short little hour segments or whatever. But like it was just, it just went so long for whatever reason. And I can't say like I hated this part particularly, this needed to go, but it just felt, you know, exhausting.
Yes.
I think it was mainly just because he kept trying to get them to write the song, and I think that's what was probably the most exhausting part about it, because they kept showing them like playing the same thing over and over again, and they're like, this song's 45 minutes, it doesn't have a fucking ending, you know, that type of shit. So I think that kind of made the movie drag a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean,
the guy with the shears, the gardener, that did not need to happen either. He never
yeah,
came back.
There was some weird
because the next time we saw that character, that was Dave Grohl.
Right.
So like, was it the original musician?
And then he comes back at the
Aleister
end.
Crowley guy.
Yeah. And then he comes back at the end after he throws
Oh,
up.
you're. I'm
shit,
sorry.
And then he comes
100.
out.
Yep. I had to picture the end.
Because
again.
But
isn't
so
he
that guy
like
kind of
the
pops in
demon?
and out.
And are the shadow creatures? Are those the other bandmates?
Yeah, but they were
Yeah.
cursed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
apparently,
thought those were pretty cool looking.
I mean,
actually.
what is the point of because they send him to the house on purpose, right? They're his manager or whatever.
Jeff Garland and
Jeff
the
Garland,
girl.
That they do it on
That
purpose.
girl is
to-
from American Horror
She's
Story.
from American Horror Story. Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out what their like end game was.
They
with the
need
whole thing.
he says that rock and roll isn't dangerous anymore, and the devil's going to save rock and roll.
Right.
Dave is a bad luck. Everyone dies around him. So Cobain died, Taylor died, and his best friend from childhood died. Like
Yeah,
in his
whatever.
sleep
Pat
back then.
Smear had a death in the Germs, a death in Nirvana, and now a Foo Fighter. So Pat Smear's killing his bandmates.
Pat
Yeah.
Smear, I would never classify Pat Smear as in
That
Nirvana.
smile. That's a creepy smile.
He was in
He was
Nirvana.
totally in Nirvana. He was in
I
Nirvana.
don't think. I know
Nirvana
he
for
definitely
2
played
years.
it. I'm not putting anything down about his like record in Nirvana.
He made what the last
I don't-
album, right? He was
Yeah,
with
he
the
was
band then.
in utero,
I
and
d-
then he was traveling. He was touring with them for 2 years.
Definitely did, but I never would have like. Nirvana's a 3-piece. Like I would not call it a 4-piece at all. Kurt Cobain did not off himself. Can you imagine how bad those albums would be now? Like he'd be like the orchestra song, you know, with like him doing a fucking Green Day ballad over the orchestra playing.
Yeah.
I think they would have gotten real weird. I don't think there was a chance that dude survived. I don't see
I mean,
him.
there
could
was
see him
rumors
getting
they broke
clean
up.
and then becoming like Everclear. Remember that band?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah, well, I
rockers
mean, there was-
against
but there was-
drugs. Yeah, you
there
guys
was rumors
suck.
there was rumors that seriously, there was rumors that Nirvana had even already broken up, you know, prior to him killing himself or whatever. So he would have done some solo crap for a while, then would have fallen off the deep end, maybe would have gotten clean, and yeah, then it would
He
have
said
been-
he was going to do his own solo thing. He had to take his shot.
Yeah, he was taking because he was. On that note,
I
Yeah.
would recommend this though. I would
Sure,
say go
sure.
see it. I mean, it's gonna be on HBO in like a week anyway.
But like I was
Right.
saying, you know, if you're a Foo Fighters fan and you can like pick out people's behavior and go like, oh yeah, I've watched everything on the Foo Fighters. Oh, that's so shifty. Is that the guy's name? Shifty,
Yeah,
the
Shifty.
first one that dies on the grill.
yeah, the first bandmate that dies on the grill.
Yeah, he like pushes
He
his
gets
head on the grill.
stabbed. Yeah, that's when Dave is-
He was acting just like Shifty or whatever. Taylor's that way. I don't know. So these guys are just kind of like, they're all acting like Scooby-Doo characters, and it was driving me nuts after a while. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't explain what was bothering me about it. It was just kind of like, here's another scene of this. Okay, we get it.
I do like
They're
that.
not. Sorry, go
The
ahead.
scene after the one guy gets electrocuted, they're just like having a barbecue, like right after, right after the sound guy's dead. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember like 2 minutes ago, and he got fucking fried." Like,
Like Dave Grohl tried to wake him up by yelling Jaeger.
yeah, you're at him. Yeah.
Jaeger.
I
No, but I was going to say on the thing that you might not be able to pinpoint. I think what's interesting is that they're not actors, so they don't know how to act, but they're so seasoned on being television. that they know how to act in front of a camera as their Dave Grohl character, their Pat Smear character, whatever. So it almost like has that familiarity to it when we're watching it, like where it doesn't seem like Peyton Hillis is trying to deliver a line as much as
cutting up the Salisbury steak. You know?
Yeah, like Dave remembers how to eat food. He could have made that scene.
There's a scene where he's eating. Yeah, he's eating a raw steak, and he's just
There are certain things that, like, again, I like it. It's just kind of like, I guess it's almost one of those like, okay, I get it. We're all in on the joke. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's like winking at the camera, like, like a little too much for me to like really enjoy it. But I did enjoy it. Like, as a non-Foo Fighters fan, it was enjoyable. I'll never watch it again. It's not going to be another movie. Like, it's another movie where I go, oh, yeah, it was fine. And then 6 months down the road, I don't remember anything about it. I'm just kind of like, I don't, whatever.
I probably would watch it.
Nothing sticks out to me as great. Yeah. It's shit I'd kind of seen before, death scenes and all this stuff. I think it was a lot of it pulled out of movies that these guys like. I know I've seen someone's head shoved on a grill. I know I've seen a chainsaw sex death or something along those lines, like split down the middle.
It was well done, though.
I've seen the Necronomicon before.
Yeah, I think it reminds me of like Deathgasm, that movie, the Australian metal movie. We kind of talked about that. I think Deathgasm was better. I think it was
if
a
you're
little
going
more.
like devil music.
It was more. Yeah, it was more original.
It actually had satanic music in it, not
right.
Q104's version.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it.
Studio Q104.
I liked it. I probably would watch it again. I don't know. That'd be like a year from now or something like that. Or if it's on HBO and 6
if
months
I'm
or
flipping
whatever.
through, like, not that we do that anymore, but if I was like flipping through, I would stop and be like, oh, I think this is when Taylor's going to die, and like wait for a cool death or something. But I don't think I'd be like, oh, I'm so glad I caught this at the intro.
Yeah, but like I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not $20. I wouldn't go to the theater for it.
Let me actually, if I can comment on that, it's great for video on demand, or if you could just like, if it should have been a straight to video on demand or whatever. Like the idea of going to the theater for this, I would have been kind of pissed off to spend $13 or whatever.
Yes, and that's like I don't think it's not a theater movie. They're shoving all these horror movies. Like we wanted to watch X, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go watch X in the theater.
And it's not coming out until like they're saying like June or something for video on demand. So they're holding that one back, trying to make you go to the theater.
They're putting Batman out next week.
Well, they're just trying to get people back in the theater.
Are you kidding me?
Cheap. And,
Batman's coming out on HBO Max next week. It's the 15th. So I mean, like they're doing it early. Well, why would they? They're trying to force people, but that's not a movie. I'm not going to go see this. I think that maybe the reason is because it's Foo Fighters. But like X, what's that supposed to do? Why am I going to the theater for that? Why are you trying to force me to do so?
Did this Foo Fighter movie get released with their album then?
No, the album was
Is their
released
album
last
called
year.
Studio 666? So there's really no connection to it. They're just pretending that for the storyline.
This is like a whole story you had.
From what you had said earlier. Okay.
Right.
I just didn't know if there was any connection to like release dates or promotions or anything.
I thought there was, and there isn't. So the only release date matchup was that EP that they made. They released the EP with it on March 25th. This movie, I would wait until it's on Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max or wherever the hell it lands up or ends up, and go watch it then, and it's going to be completely enjoyable. You're not going to be happy if you go spend $20 on it at the theater or on demand now.
I mean, it was a novelty, as far as the movie went. That's.
Do you think they killed Taylor Hawkins to make people want to watch it?
Go see the movie, probably. This should be a $5 rental, and it should make like I would suggest spending $5 if it was a $5 rental.
The Hunting was $7.
Mm-hmm.
To own?
To rent.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, well, that's our Apple commercial, you fucking corporate whore. All right, so that's
wait, I'm going to ask this. Do we know of any other band movie? Has a band put together a movie like this before?
Hasn't Kiss
Not counting
something?
Bee Gees with Sgt. Pepper's.
Kiss.
Outside of that.
Kiss was in a Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo meets Kiss.
Actually, they made their Kiss movie too.
I'm trying.
Kiss movie. Oh, yeah, Big Money Hustlers with ICP, bitch. You love Big Money Hustlers. You love ICP.
I don't know.
Actually,
you're talking
ICP has a couple of movies. I think.
They do.
Yeah.
Would they play themselves or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else would they play?
They have like
guys
a Western.
working at a fucking McDonald's.
They don't have makeup on, so
Juggalo?
they just look like lawyers now.
No, they got makeup on. They have like a Western or something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not reviewing that.
Yeah,
No.
we are. You brought it up.
That's up next.
Guitar Wolf was there. That
Guitar Wolf
zombie
had
movie,
Wild Zero.
Wild Zero.
Yeah.
But that's not really the same thing. But Guitar Wolf is also the most insane group of was the most insane group of. Guitar Wolf is.
They're still around.
Bass Wolf died. I don't know any other bands that have done something like this. I feel like Poison or somebody. Like I feel like there was like an '80s thing.
I'm
like
actually
Guns N'
surprised it
Roses
wasn't
or something.
like Dio or like Danzig or somebody like
King
that.
Diamond.
Yeah,
like that
like-
seems like a King
D.
Diamond.
Snyder
thing.
made movies.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
that's true. But
Yeah.
he's not D. Snyder in him.
No, he's Captain something.
Captain
Captain Howdy.
Jackass.
Strangeland.
His name is Captain Howdy.
Strangeland. What was it?
Strangeland.
Strangeland. Okay.
Wait,
That's a
Captain
good- I
Howdy.
like
Isn't
that
Captain
movie.
Howdy the
That's
thing
all right.
from Exorcist?
Yeah,
Captain
Howdy's-
Howdy is the thing she's talking. Reagan's talking to on the.
Yeah.
It's
So she's
also-
talking to D. Snyder. That makes that movie way lamer. Oh God, I fucking hate you, Dave. So I'll give this one, Mark. Mark, what's your arbitrary voting thing here?
Oh,
arbitrary ranking system.
I gave it 3 bottle caps out of 5.
Cool. I give it 7.92 hot dogs out of 4 slices of cabbage.
There you go.
I mean, I definitely say go see it. It is a 12 out of 4.
Yeah. 9 shoes to the garbage can.
There you go.
I like it.
It's Foo Fighters.